Good afternoon and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about velocity. And I see your eyes clouding over or going, what the fuck is pipeline velocity? Now, I've called it something else for years. It's only that I was writing an article last week and I was doing some research and this term came out of nowhere, pipeline velocity. If you're a B2B business or selling D2C, you need to understand this metric. And this metric is all about understanding your customer journey from when you first identify someone who could potentially be a customer to when they make a purchase. So for instance, if you're thinking about a direct to consumer business, online retail, it's identifying when they first notice you, your business or your brand as someone of interest to them. And that might be that they see an advert from you, they see a social media post, they meet you at a trade show, a networking event. It's understanding and gathering that information so you can work out, A, where do they find you and where do they find you the most? So you can put more effort into that aspect, into that area of marketing, and then understanding from where they come in to your pipeline, where they enter your pipeline, the first stage of your pipeline. Where do they go after that? How many interactions with your brand do they need to have before they even start considering making a purchase? And obviously this depends on the type of business as well. So if you're selling something for a couple of pounds, it's probably going to be an instant purchase. It's an impulse purchase and there's not too much thought given to it. If it's a more premium purchase, so if it's over £100 or a few £100s, people are now going to start considering, is this the right purchase? Is this the right brand to buy? Is this the right product to buy? Is this business the business that I want to buy from? The younger demographic, they really do look into what's behind a business, what's the substance, rather than just what is the product and what is the service. It's what do they stand for? What are their values? And do their values align with my values? And if the answer is no to any of those questions, they won't buy from you. You can have the best product in the world. They won't buy it. They want to work or they want to buy from brands that they feel that there's a community behind. I think this is where brands such as Apple have got it so right. Nike have got it so right, where they create this community and you become part of that community. So understanding where they see your brand first, where they start considering your brand, and then how many interactions with your brand do they need before they make that purchase. Now, years ago, it used to be 2 or 3 interactions with a brand, or they'd identify a brand that they liked. They'd probably see it a couple more times and then they'd go out and buy it. Now I'm hearing statistics of between 14 and 21 interactions with a brand before they even consider a purchase. And that's insane. But that's the world we live in now. And that is because of social media and how quickly you can access information. And AI is only going to speed that up. So a B2B brand would be slightly different. So you would be looking for ideal clients. And if you don't know who your ideal client is, I suggest that you spend an hour to 2 hours working out who your ideal client is. And I'll do another video about ideal clients and really what is an ideal client. I spent 2 days with my senior management team in a business that was turning over 31 million, talking about who our ideal client was. And we thought our ideal client was someone who would buy our products and services and would buy in volume. Ideal client. No, much, much deeper than that. In fact, I had a call with a client last week and I was talking to them about ideal client. They told me what their ideal client was. When I say shallow, I don't mean that in a negative way, but they did what I did and they thought about an ideal client about just, will they buy my product or service? You need to think long term and you need to think deeper than that. You need to think about the values of the ideal client and payment terms and size of business and so on and so forth. But I'll do a whole new video about that. You identify your client. If you're selling B2B, you identify your ideal client. And then obviously you want to start working out where they hang out and how you can interact with them. At that point, in my pipeline in a B2B business, I would class that as a suspect. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but someone is only a suspect because I suspect they could be interested in our business, in our services, in our product. After suspect, once you've reached out to them, you had a conversation to them, and they show a little bit of interest, they become a prospect. And once you've got them into the prospect stage of the pipeline, then you need to move them on to either having a call, having a meeting, doing a demonstration, a product tasting, whatever your stages are in the pipeline. And where a lot of businesses go wrong is they identify a suspect, prospect, whatever you call it right now, and then they only move them to the next stage when they've got them to the next stage, which is fine. That's what you're supposed to do. But what you don't do, or what 99.9% of businesses don't do, is track how long it takes to get a customer from one stage to the next. And this is critical. This is like one of the most important numbers in your business. After cash flow, tracking your pipeline length, your pipeline velocity is almost like having a crystal ball. Once you understand the numbers in between start and finish your pipeline and conversion rate, and what areas of the pipeline, what stages or phases of the pipeline your customers drop out at, once you understand those metrics, you can start improving each element. So if everyone drops out at the negotiation point, you know that either your product or service doesn't stack up, or your pricing is out compared to the rest of the market. The value within your offer doesn't fit with what your customers think they should be getting. Okay. And that could be that they're the wrong type of customer for you. So you need to look at ideal client, or it could be that you've got something wrong within that stage of the process. So you need to track in between each stage of the process. So from each step, how long it takes, how many interactions between each step, and then how long does it take to go from start to finish of your pipeline. So say, for instance, it takes 6 weeks to go from start to finish of the pipeline on average. You know that if you put 100 customers in at the start every month, and you know that you convert 10% by the end of 6 weeks, you know you're winning 10 customers every 6 weeks. Now that's quite powerful. But then when you start tracking where those customers come from, and you start putting more emphasis on that stage, on that area of marketing or networking or interaction, however that might be, once you start adding focus in that area and putting some more time into that area, that 10% might become 20% or 15%. So instead of winning 10 customers every 6 weeks, you win 15. Now, if you put focus on how do you then increase the maximum spend, if you put focus on how do you increase their average spend and how frequently they buy, those numbers start to multiply, and that multiplication is extremely strong. But you need to start somewhere, and your pipeline velocity is essential for any type of D2C online business or B2B business. I've just written an article about the 5 top metrics to track in your business, and pipeline velocity is up there in the top 5. Take a look at my blog. If you read my blog at businessgrowthmadeeasy.com, and then look at blogs, it's the one posted 1st of August or 31st of July. Take a look at that, have a read. If you need any more support, there is a checklist you can download, which is more about cash flow, but there's some other resources which come off the back of that. So download that resource, it's free anyway. And if you need any more help on pipeline velocity, please don't hesitate to reach out, book a call with me. We can have a 15, 20-minute chat about pipeline velocity and any other challenges that you've got in your business. The link's in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The only way that I can go further with this online journey is if you guys vote with your fingers, click those buttons, and I'll see you soon.